So you add the beans, you add smoked meat. The more the
Okay.
merrier. Like nice parts of like the pig, like what we have in Brazil is like pigs, salted pig feet, and all the
Oh my
collagen, like
God.
the gelatin type of meat. It's so
Yeah. And I told you I need to learn more about, Caribbean food
yeah.
because she used to make that all the time. That's one of the recipe, making beans like that in the pressure cooker.
Ah.
I haven't done that in like. I'm Veronique.
And I'm Silvia.
Welcome to the High Vibes and the Mic podcast,
where multicultural moms connect.
Hi everyone, welcome to High Vibes and a Mic. This is Veronique. How are you, Silvia?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm good. So today we're gonna help helpless mothers or anyone cooking, in the household with some easy, stress-free meals. So we have some recipes, some that I really like to make, and some that some of my friends also, gave me as a recipe. So the first one for me, I really like to do because we eat a lot of meat at home. It's just a chicken and vegetable, on a sheet of aluminium, put in the oven. So you toast up chicken breast, thighs. I don't really like thighs actually. I just like the breast.
More like the
white,
breast.
Yeah, the white part, right? Salt, pepper, all the spice that you want, seasoning, and you chop some vegetables. I like to put also some potatoes in there, olive oil, put it in the oven, 30 minutes, and that's it. You don't have anything really to clean up, and you have a meal for everybody. Who doesn't like potatoes? Who doesn't like chicken? It's easy for the kids. And if they don't want, the vegetable, you can throw some carrot in there. Usually, they eat it, broccolis. But I know they don't really like the bell peppers. I love bell peppers.
What do you add then? What vegetables do you add?
Whatever you want. Depend of the vegetable, but if you put the broccolis or bell pepper, I will put it like in the middle of because it's gonna burn, especially if you put potatoes. So in the middle. But if you put carrot, you can put it at the beginning. It's so hard to cook.
Yeah.
So that's like very easy.
And that's it. Yeah. And you eat it with rice or it's just
no? If you don't put the potatoes, with rice or. But if you do rice, you have to do rice on the side. That's another meal. But if you just want to do like one meal easy, you put potato in there, everything in the oven, and that's it. It's done.
And you don't need anything else. Yeah. Well, in Brazil and in Portugal, we eat potatoes and rice. So we do the double.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a thing.
That's good carb.
Potatoes and rice always together. So
I never had that, potatoes and rice. Okay.
Talking about rice, don't want to make advertisement, but I mean, I don't know the name of the brand, but it's the rice pilaf. You know the rice pilaf that comes in a little box. Have you seen those at the supermarket? And they come with like different flavors. They are so good. They're so tasty. And I feel like there's like different types of rice in there. Like there's a little pouch that you like first you add the rice and then you had this other pouch with the seasoning and the like some other types of rice or grains in it. Even Patrick, he's not a big fan of rice. He likes potatoes, like a good Irish. He doesn't care for rice. But that one, he loves it. And like with chicken, it just made me think of like a nice, like especially with the rice pilaf with chicken and vegetables. That would be good.
I'm hungry.
And it's quick too. It cooks really quickly. Yeah.
So is that one of the recipe? Yeah.
No, I'm just saying like add the rice. That's all that I know. And by the way, you can just add the rice.
Seasoning.
Yeah.
So that's one for me. What do you have? Because I think you have one from your own country. I want to hear it.
All the 3 recipes I'm gonna share are from Brazil. And number 1 is the most popular one that people, at least they have heard of it. And they think it's complicated, but it's not. But it's not made under like an hour. It's not like that. Like it takes a little bit of time. It's feijoada, which is a beans casserole. But
Yeah.
all you have to do is to get like to put beans all in a pressure cooker. Beans, black beans, the amount that you want, maybe like half a bag of beans. So you add the beans, you add smoked meat. The more the
Okay.
merrier. Like nice parts of like the pig, like what we have in Brazil is like pigs, salted pig feet, and all the
Oh my
collagen, like
God.
the gelatin type of meat. It's so
Yeah.
delicious. But if you don't have those times, you know what you can get, like more like smoked meat. I think like at Asian markets or German markets where you have the smoked sausage. So that's all that you
Mm.
have to do. Like you put all those things in the pot, like the beans, water, smoked sausage, smoked meat, like pork, beef, and you cook it for a good. Like I like to put a little. What's the name of the leaf? The dry leaf. Oh my god, not basil.
I was gonna say
I don't.
basil. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dry leaf, bay leaf. Bay leaf.
Oh
You
yeah.
add bay leaf,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
and then close the lid. You don't need to put salt at that time. Just cook it for like 40 minutes, or just check when the meat is tender. The beans are ready. After that, you just saute onions and garlic. You saute it, add it to the cooked beans, and just kind of like let it sit for a little bit, for like maybe 5 minutes in the, like bubbling up and getting thicker, the sauce. Add sauce, and that's it. You have the beans, which you're gonna eat with rice. You
I
make
was
a
gonna
pot
say
of rice.
we need some rice in there.
Obviously, you need to have the rice. But
Yeah.
the meat already has all that meat. So you can have like you eat the meat that is inside the beans with the rice. If you wanna add like a crack an egg, like fry an egg, it's delicious as well. Like you have like
Mm.
scrambled eggs mixed with all that rice, beans, and eggs. You should try it. It's delicious. Like it's
That's a
and
good
that's a
recipe.
meal that actually lasts for 3-4 days at least, because it's a big pot of pressure. Like imagine like a big pressure cooker, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
cook it. It lasts for 2-3 days, or more even, if everybody's eating that. Like 3 or 4 days of rice and beans that you can add. Then you can, like, the next day you can just cook different meats, or maybe like chicken or whatever, like pork, and then you just to add with the rice and the beans and the meat, and maybe some salad, or like pico de gallo, like salsa. That's it.
Mm.
You're good for a whole week almost.
We have the exact same recipe in the Caribbean.
Oh yeah, with the
That's what
beans.
that's yeah. Oh yeah, the beans and the rice, in the pot, and you let the
Uh
beans
huh.
for an hour in the how do you call that pot again?
Pressure cooker.
The pressure cooker. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, my mom used to make that all the time. Oh yeah, I love it.
Ah.
Remember when in another podcast, I don't know if it's the one when we say are we becoming our parents or something else,
Uh huh.
and I told you I need to learn more about Caribbean food
Yeah.
because she used to make that all the time. That's one of the recipe, making beans like that in the pressure cooker.
Ah.
I haven't done that in like
Because
ever.
it's from the African, so that's an African
Yeah.
tradition that we embrace there in Brazil, and so it's so
Mm-hmm.
popular and it's so tasty, especially when you can add like the salted parts of a pig and of
Yeah.
like all the salted meat. It just gives that extra flavor, and like the juice or the sauce gets like thick. Oh, it's so
Yeah.
good.
My mom
It's
likes
so
to put the
tasty.
little what do you call that behind
The tail.
the tail,
In Brazil
little
too.
the
The
tail,
tail, the
the
feet.
feet, the nose,
Oh my god. Oh my
and
god,
she will
no.
eat it. The
I
nose,
can't. I've
the
seen the
feet.
nose, the pig's nose in like an Asian supermarket. I'm like, OMG. No, people eat
Oh, she
that.
put
The noses. I'm
everything
like,
in there, and she loves the tail. My mom loves to eat the tail.
my mom too likes that. Like she eats
Oh yeah,
tripe. She eats everything. Like all the insides. She was telling how my grandma used to cook all that.
yeah.
Tripes and fried them. Oh
Oh,
gosh, I can't even imagine.
no, the tribes I can't.
Yeah, it's too
And
much.
that made me think about another recipe like this that's really easy. I used to do that a lot before, and maybe need to do that again. More in winters, with the slow cooker.
Uh-huh.
Like put everything in a slow
Yes.
cooker. So easy. You can put beef in there that stay like for 3 hours, and It just
Yes.
like melt in your mouth right after.
Yeah.
And you can put that in the morning, you go to work, you come back at night, the dinner is ready. And it's still hot.
It's
Put
awesome. And
everything,
I don't
yeah.
make it that often, but
Yeah,
it's
and I have a
great.
big one, and I need to use it more because I haven't used it in a while. And put everything in the slow cooker with like ton of vegetables, some meat. If you want to put some rice on the side,
Hey,
do
some
some
rice,
rice.
potatoes.
Okay, some potatoes. And yeah, and you get a very easy meal. You don't really have to do anything. Just cut some vegetable, the meat in there, and you're done. You don't really have to cook. You don't have to cook anything.
No, that's the best. So you just put everything in the pot and
Yeah.
that's it. Because
So you have
it's even easier than the pressure cooker. Because some like the feijoada, you
yeah.
still need to use, the saute, the onions and
Hmm.
the garlic, add a little bit more. But the best type of cooking for me is that you just have a big pot and you put everything in and see ya, a few,
Yeah.
a
So you
few
have
hours.
your meal, the Brazilian one. You have that slow cooker, meal, and you also have the I think the most famous, most easiest one also is the one pot pasta, right? Cook pasta, put
Mm.
everything in there, and you have one pot pasta. You don't have to really clean anything. You can put some spinach, tomatoes, some shrimp or chicken, and you have one pot pasta and one meal for everybody. I like that too. It's easy.
And that's it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And pasta is I love like bolognese. Pasta bolognese is so yummy and it's very easy too. Like the
Mm.
ground beef, just like
Yeah.
cooking the ground beef and then you make that sauce and done. It's like an easy meal.
And I don't know
Now,
any kid is going to say no to that,
oh, I
to the
do, I
bolognese.
do, I know.
Really?
Yeah, my middle son, he's gonna say
Ah,
no to that because it's
the,
crazy.
really? Because you really love it. That's the most easiest.
Sometimes I know he likes pasta with butter and cheese only.
Okay,
And
butter.
sometimes
Okay.
I stick like I put
Mm.
like some sauce there without. Sometimes you eat it, but it's like you never know. Depends on his mood. Like I don't want
Yeah,
sauce.
the mood.
Kids
No,
are
thank you.
funny. Yeah, I'll pass. Not hungry right now. Not the boundaries. Setting boundaries. We have to set parent boundaries. You're gonna eat it right now. You're gonna eat this. I don't care
Okay.
if you don't want it. So
Something I
much for
wonder
setting
how.
boundaries that we were talking in the
Oh,
previous episode.
I
Uh,
wonder how they survive sometimes. They don't eat, and I'm like, aren't you hungry? I'm fine. Okay. All right then.
he's
It's a
just
bit
eating,
of
yeah, like
yeah,
candies, bread,
bread. Yeah.
those things. So you have your second one. So your first one was what? First was
First one was the
chicken
chicken and
and
vegetable.
vegetables in one
Second
pan.
one slow cooker. Third one the one pot
Feijoada,
pasta.
yeah.
Yeah. And yours was with the pressure cooker.
Pressure
And what's it?
feijoada in the pressure cooker, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and rice. And the second one, another Brazilian one, but we call it Brazilian stroganoff.
Ooh.
That is a staple in Brazil. Like every family, every household cooks that. And it's just pretty much chicken breast, chunks of chicken breast, cooked. And then you add the sauce. You add like a little bit of a tomato sauce, like sauteed with onions, garlic, the whole thing. You have a little bit of like add some chicken stock to it. Let the chicken cook, and then
Mm-hmm.
once the sauce is getting a little bit thicker, with the tomato sauce because you need to. No, we can't forget the tomato sauce. So it's like you have that red sauce with the chicken in the pan in the pot. You add we call creme de leche, which is they sell in markets here. How is it called? It could be heavy cream, but the type that I buy that is in the Hispanic aisle,
Oh,
they
I know
call
what it is.
creme de leche. It's like thicker, almost
Yeah,
like
I
creme
know what it
fraiche,
is.
similar to that.
We have
Yeah,
that in the
so you.
Caribbean too. Very sweet.
Oh my god! But it's not sweet. No, but this one is not. It's not condensed
Oh,
milk. I'm not talking about
okay,
condensed
it's
milk.
not sweet. What is it then?
No, it's just a cream. It's like a creme fraiche, like you have that in France, right?
Okay,
It's
yeah.
similar to that, but I feel like that one is a little sour. Ours is not
Okay,
sour. It's more like a
okay.
very like a thick cream, thicker than
Mm-hmm. Okay.
heavy cream that is in a can, and you find it Hispanic, but it's next to the condensed milk, which is delicious. And yeah, but it's more for desserts.
Yeah.
So you add in this big pot chicken,
Mm-hmm.
cook the chicken with this chicken stock and the tomato sauce. So once it start bubbling up and getting like thicker, you add this creme de leche, which is a heavy, it could be heavy cream, or you find it, you can buy this Hispanic aisle there. Then the sauce is gonna be very creamy. It's gonna be
Yeah.
almost looking like vodka sauce, like spaghetti vodka. I don't know if you've seen that type of
I
sauce.
think, yeah. I
It's
think
like
I
a
had it once.
creamy tomato sauce. We actually add we call champignon, but like totally like
Yeah.
still in the French
Mushroom.
word. Yes, we add the
Champignon.
ones in little cans, like the white ones that come in like conserved,
Yeah.
like you buy at stores, not the fresh ones, the white ones that come in a liquid. So you add those ones
Mm.
to the whole thing, and that's it. Of course, you need the rice, and you eat that with some potato. Can be French fries, which is delicious, or just some
Mm.
like very thin, crunchy potato chips that you put on top. So you have like the rice,
Mm.
the stroganoff on top, and the French fries, or like this little, or like crunchy or crushed potato chips. You put it on top,
Oh.
with that crunchiness. It's easy and it lasts for a long time. I mean, of course, you have to make the rice, you have to make the stroganoff, but the
Hmm.
stroganoff is easy in a pot, like cook the chicken and then you make the sauce. And again, if you make a big one, it can last for a good 3 days. I mean, until you
This
get
sounds,
tired of eating the same thing every day.
but this one sounds kind of fancy. With the sauce, the white sauce, the mushroom, and the little crumb
Oh, the
on top.
mushroom. No, it's because we sell, because what I use is this potatoes thing, the potato
Mm-hmm.
chips. I buy it at a Brazilian store, and they already sell in a bag, and they're very thin
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
already almost like crunched. So all I have to
Okay.
do is to put it on top. But you can
Yeah,
use the
yeah.
potato chips you have and crunch them, and crunch them and put it on top. You don't need to use the potato chips, but
No,
the
but I mean
the,
the
the
whole.
champignon, the mushroom, definitely you should add because it gives that extra flavor. The
I mean
mushrooms.
the visual of the meal in my head looks really fancy. It
Oh
looks like
yeah.
a restaurant meal. Yeah,
Oh my god.
in my it looks like a restaurant meal.
Imagine that in like a regular pot on the oven there, like on the stove with chicken cream. It's like a stew, like a chicken stew, but a creamy stew that you eat with rice,
Mhm.
like kind of a thing. And it's delicious. So good.
Have you heard of? I mean, in France we call it a Spanish omelette. You know what it is?
How is it?
This is so. This is the most easiest thing, even for kid. If you want them to eat something,
Hmm.
take some potatoes. You slice the potatoes. You roast them on the, in the not in the pot, in the my God, how do you call that? You roast them, on the stove, and
Mm-hmm.
then you crack an omelette in there with, some salt and whatever, salt, pepper, not pepper, maybe for the kids, some, herbs and stuff to make it
Uh-huh.
tasty, and that's it. And the
Wait, say it
potatoes
again.
are so
Potatoes,
you fry the
sliced
potatoes,
potatoes.
sliced potatoes, you fry them, on the stove, and
Okay.
then you crack some eggs on the side, you make an omelette, and you pour the omelette on the potatoes.
Okay.
And then you have an omelette, but there's potatoes in it. And in
But you
France, we
put it in
make
the
that
oven. How do you fry
no
in the oven?
oven, not
Oh,
oven.
you fry on the
Everything is on the
stove.
stove. Yeah, everything is on the stove. And in France, we
Oh.
make that, when we don't really want to cook or when they have kids and they're getting difficult, we just make that because it doesn't look like it's eggs. Sometimes they don't like to eat omelette, those kids. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
look like it's two different meals, just one meal. And it's like a big omelette with potatoes in it.
Oh, I see. It
It's so
sounds
easy to make.
tasty.
It's so easy to make, and in France we call it the Spanish omelette. I don't even know if it's
Spanish
Spanish,
omelette.
but we call it like that. Yeah, the Spanish omelette. You never heard of that one?
No, but I like
It's
it.
the Yeah. It takes like 15 minutes. There's a time for
But
the potatoes to fry, right? To
but you
fry,
have to fry like with oil, like and turn
Yeah,
from yeah. That take that yeah. That kind of takes a little bit of time.
yeah.
But
It takes
but
like
could you
10, 15
could you
minutes.
could you cut the slices, round slices, and put it in the oven, let them cook and get tender, and then add eggs on top? No, they have
You can
already
do
changed
that.
it. Instead
Yeah,
of
you
fry, it's a completely different recipe.
The thing is, I think when you do that, it's going to be more like chips. And it's not going to be the same texture. When you put it in the oven, it's going to be more like, I mean, when I put them in
Oh,
the
I see.
oven,
Okay.
It's more like chips tea, but when you cook them directly on the stove, it's more powdery. I don't know how to explain it. It's not the same
Softer
texture.
than
Softer,
softer.
yeah. Because you do like thin slice and it's very fast, very fast. It cooks very fast on the stove. So yeah, so
Ah,
that's one.
okay.
The egg.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one for me, that's what I do regularly now. I mean twice a week because sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm gonna cook again the same thing. I use one of those service, where they just deliver to you the food, not the
Uh-huh.
food. I mean the ingredients. You still have to
Yeah.
cook, and but they have different recipe. And sometimes I like to try something. Oh yeah, they have a Thai recipe or they have a Mexican recipe or they have stuff that I would never think of cooking. Or sometimes like some vegetable I would never think of buying. Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And so to mix up a little bit during the week, I do that also. So people can, you can check it out. There's a lot of company that does that now. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
do any ads for anyone right now. Just look it up. You know who they are. And I mean, yeah, once in a while, it's good to do something else that you don't have to think. You just open the box. All the ingredients are already there. You can just cook them. Most of the time, it's under 30 minutes in one or two pot or the oven. It's really not complicated. It's always easy recipe most of the
Yeah,
time.
because having to come up with ideas all the time is
Okay.
very exhausting.
Yeah.
Very, very exhausting. Like,
Yes.
what am I gonna cook tonight? Like, oh gosh, it's just so many. So that's
I
the
have.
one. Like, or you
Yeah.
have another. Okay, so but it's a recipe that you're gonna give or no?
No, no, no. When you
Oh,
say
okay, you're
it's
just
very
saying.
exhausting, it made me think of a friend that I have. And once I went to visit her at her place, and she had like this big on the wall. She had all those. I'm like, what is this? Is it for what you have to do in the week? She's like, oh no, it's just the menu for the week that her and her husband come up with. They make the
Wow.
menu from Monday to Sunday. Oh, this today we're gonna eat that. I'm like, wow, you
So
guys are
organized.
really like,
There's no way I can do that. There's absolutely no way. I
oh,
will
you have
never
nothing
stick
else
to
to
that.
do. Who has time for this?
Yeah, like what? I'll see what I'm in the mood for tonight, and like, and sometimes like,
Exactly.
sorry, nothing's happening. Kids sports and shit happening. I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
can't cook.
DoorDash.
Yeah, like no,
Delivery.
thank you. Delivery, thank you very much.
Ah.
Well, and I have one more Brazilian,
hmm
another recipe with but with rice, obviously, because if you haven't noticed, everything
Really?
has rice with it.
What a surprise.
But this one is even easier. This is called muqueca. I think
hmm
a lot of people, if they go to Brazilian restaurants, they've heard of it. Also, like African influence. There is some a sort of like pepper or like sauce that they add there that makes it very like orangey. Like this, it's like a stew, a fish stew, and dende. It's called dende oil, like palm
hmm
tree oil. I think it comes from the palm trees, and but it's hard to find, so you don't need to use it. But it's basically in a pot. You add fish steaks, not the fillets. It has to be like the thick, when it's cut it in like big steaks of fish. Usually
hmm
like white fish, like codfish, that type of fish, white. Put it in the pan. You don't even have to like saute, do any of that. You just
Okay.
add olive oil at the bottom. Put the chick steaks or the fish steaks on the at the bottom of the pan. Add
Yeah.
slices of onions, bell peppers, and tomatoes. You just
Okay.
slice them and you put them all, and you're gonna cover the fish with that. Lots of cilantro. Cover with cilantro as well. Add chicken stock or fish stock. If you have fish stock, even better. Let it cook. Salt and pepper, and let it cook in that big pot. Once it starts cooking, because it cooks really fast, you can add a
Yeah.
tomato paste to it, and then you add coconut milk to
Ooh.
the whole thing. So
Mm.
it's like a nice sauce, like a nice chicken. Chicken. Why am I saying chicken all the time? A nice fish stew with this coconut sauce with lots of cilantro, very fresh because you have the onions, the tomatoes, the bell peppers. Cooks in like what, 15, 20 minutes. And then you can eat it either with rice. It's similar to like Thai food, like when you have like
Yeah.
the curries. So it's like that, but with fish, with the coconut milk. Very healthy and it's so tasty. But you need to add the tomato paste. It has to have that like orangey color, that when you add the coconut milk, it gets like creamy and it get a little
Mhm.
bit thick. Adjust the salt and that's it. You will have a
Yeah.
nice meal.
Some people are afraid sometimes to cook fish because they
Yeah.
don't. If it's not salmon, they don't know how to make it. In
And
the household,
salmon
yeah,
is not that I don't love salmon. There are some salmons
it's
that are
okay.
very like smelly, I don't like the
Mm,
taste of. I like the fish that are like the white types that are like
yeah,
no flavor,
with the
like no
head,
smell. Yeah, like halibut,
with the head attached, and
Had the
attached to
head
it.
and leave it to Pascal. Like when we
Okay.
had dinner that time and he ate it. I remember he
Oh, he
devoured
ate
the
all
head.
of it. Oh yeah, he ate all
Yeah,
the head.
yeah.
Yeah,
But it's
I like.
easy. It's just like the steaks.
Mhm,
It's like, but you have to just buy the steak, like the big chunk of fish
mhm.
and put it like to boil, to cook.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
easy.
Pascal love fish. We eat that every day if you could.
Yeah,
Love it.
that. We usually eat that traditionally Good Friday because we can't eat meat,
Mhm,
right? So that's when you cook
mhm,
that, or with bacalhau, which is a cod fish as well. Salted cod, we make like
mhm.
similar, like the same style with just tons of cilantro and potato and
So
onions.
the secret is the cilantro in that recipe.
I think the cilantro is mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
All
must have.
right.
And the real secret, if you can get, you guys, whoever is listening, if you can
Mhm.
get dende or palm tree oil, that gives an extra flavor. You can get
Okay. What's
dende
it?
oil at Brazilian store or palm tree oil,
Okay. How
palm
do you
oil.
spell dende? How do you spell? Because if we don't know, how do you spell it?
Dende.
Dende. Okay.
Dende. Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Got it.
because it's like this
That's.
yellowish, orangey color.
Is it a powder or is it oil? What is
It's
it?
oil.
It's an oil. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All
Then you
right.
just add a little bit. It has like a particular flavor. Parts of Brazil they use it a lot. In Salvador, in Bahia, which is like
Mhm.
northeast of Brazil, they use that a lot. It's very tasty.
Oh, I
So
like that
yeah,
last recipe. Good. Wow. We have
yeah,
something to cook for this week.
yeah. Tell Pascal he likes fish.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna come to your house the day you cook it. All right. And this way we can test it.
Yeah,
Real Brazilian food.
yeah. I actually have to
Cook us some
adventure
fish.
myself and make that some night, huh? Invite people over and have like a big pot, either feijoada, lots of
Yeah.
beef and a lot of meats, smoked meat, or
Oh
fish
yeah.
lighter. Yeah,
Mm.
I'll do that
Well,
sometime.
yeah. Waiting for the invite. Okay, guys, I think that's it for today. We don't have anything else to share,
Yes,
but feel free to send us, some recipe if you want, on our social media. Don't be shy. We want
yeah.
to try anything new.
And
Let us
you
know.
can, if you want to know more about the recipes, just ask us, like send us messages on social media, and then we can give you like the full recipe as well, so
Yeah,
that you can go for it and cook it and cook
yeah,
some like different meals.
yeah. Take a picture and let us know, how it came out.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you for listening, and we talk to you next time.
See you next time. Bye. Take care.
Thank you for tuning in to High Vibes and a Mic. Until next time, laugh hard, stay silly, and never forget to bring your sense of humor. Please follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest.